Hey guys, Molly Marino from Baird & Warner. I've been getting asked this question a lot lately. How do you, as a buyer, get a winning bid on a property when there's a lot of competition? And I want to talk to you a little bit about how to do this to set yourself up for success and how to go into the buying process ready to win that bid. There are 5 things that are most important. I'll break them down for you. 1, the offer price. What do you offer? How much do you offer? How do you win? 2, how are you paying for this? Is it cash? Is it financed? How do you position yourself? 3, putting some skin in the game. I'll tell you more about what that means. 4, timing. From the time you submit the contract to the time you close, how do you tighten that up? And 5, are there any contingencies or question marks in terms of your being able to actually close? So let's talk first about offer price. When you're in a competitive situation, you've got to go into it thinking that you might actually have to pay over asking. That scares some people. If it does, you might not want to go see those properties. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to pay more than the property is worth. You've got to think in your heart, how much am I willing to spend? Because I really want this house. And know too, that there's usually an appraisal involved as a cross-check on how much you're paying for the home. So when you're going in on a multi-offer situation, consider going in at full price, going in slightly over asking price, or putting in an escalation clause, which is basically saying, here's the max amount I'm willing to spend. My offer is going to be less than that, but if you get another offer in, so for instance, if the property's listed at $200,000, you say, I'm going to offer you $200,000 on the nose, but if you get another offer in, I'll beat that offer by $1,000 up to a certain amount, let's say $220. So if an offer comes in at $205, you're the winning bidder at $206. If an offer comes in at $219, you're the winning bidder at $220. If an offer comes in at $221, you've been priced out of the game. But that's a way to secure the offer and not overpay what you're willing to really put on the table. The second piece of this is how you're writing your offer and how you're paying for the deal. Are you getting a loan? Are you paying cash? Cash always speaks volumes because it's the easiest way to close. But in reality, how many people have cash to buy a home? Not many. So the second part of that is the loan. And if you're taking out a loan, are you getting a loan from a reputable lender that does business locally? How much money are you putting down against that loan? Are you only putting down 3%? Are you putting down 20%? All of that says something to the seller about your ability to buy the property. The larger percentage you put down, the stronger your offer is. That doesn't mean they won't accept an offer with 5% down, but keep in mind, when all things are equal, they'll probably take a 20% down buyer over a 5%. So in that situation, if you're only putting 5% down, you might want to offer a little more than the next guy to counterbalance that. The third thing is putting some skin in the game, and that's putting some earnest money on the table. You should be prepared at minimum to put down a $1,000 check the day you submit that contract and ask for a signature, saying, I'm willing to put $1,000 on the table. That money will go toward my closing costs. I'll get it back later, but I'm going to let it sit in escrow until we get there. In Illinois, a little different than other states. Here we increase that. A really good amount of earnest money is about 5% of the purchase price. Not everybody can swing that either. So somewhere between 2 and 5% of the purchase price that sits in an escrow account, which is managed either by the title company, an attorney, or a brokerage, and comes back to you at closing, but you're willing to kind of have it tied up for, the amount of time it takes to get to the closing table, says a lot to the seller that you're really willing to commit to this deal. The fourth important point is the timing of the offer. 30 days is a great amount of time to close. 1 month and boom, in and out. Sellers love that. Lenders don't always love that because it's hard to get a loan written in 30 days. So right now, about a 40-day offer is average and fantastic here. A 60-day offer, it's okay. Anything more than that, it's going to make those sellers think, it's going to take too long. My home is going to be off the market for a long amount of time. If something falls apart, the season's going to change. So I recommend your sweet spot is somewhere between 30 and 40, 42 days. And then the last piece of that is the contingency. Do you have to sell a home to buy a home? If you do, just know that that puts a little more stress on the seller because it's a domino effect. If your home doesn't sell, then they can't sell their home to you. So if you're in that situation, which a lot of people are in, and we can't fault for that. You want to make sure that your contingency is as tight as possible. So what does that mean? That means if you have to sell your home is already on the market before you put that offer in. You've got it listed with an agent, you've got it actively marketed, and you can show that seller the home on the MLS. You can give them some information. For instance, somebody's viewed my home 5 times in person in the past 3 days, and we've gotten 2 second showings so that they understand that you're really trying hard to sell it. And if it's already under contract and waiting to close, you give them kind of a blanked out version of the contract to show them exactly what's going on. So all of those 5 things, price, timing, earnest money, contingency, and how you fund the purchase are all equally as important. If you have questions about not being able to, handle one of those things, or if you're wondering what's most important with your particular purchase, give me a call. I'm happy to talk you through it. Hopefully that gave you something good to think about, and we'll catch up soon.